Jams, jams, jams. Picture books and jams. Welcome, everybody, to PBJAMZ. Music and picture books, what a perfect sandwich. Squish them all together, what a yummy snack. PBJAMZ, yummy books and music. PBJAMZ, reading, writing, teaching. PBJAMZ, what a yummy treat. Jamming PBs all the time.
Good evening, or whatever time of day it is that you are here with us. I am just super stoked to have you here because I also have Rosie J. Pova here with us. And if you're in Kidlit community, like I know you've heard her name, because if you're like me, I have enjoyed so many of Rosie's workshops and articles, and she just gives very selflessly to the Kidlit community. And so, welcome, Rosie. So glad to have you today.
Well, thank you, Tanya. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, I was so excited when I saw your book, and I was like, "Oh, wait, this is a PB Jam, this book." And so, this is Sally's Musical Tale, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, that's
And
right.
it is about, and I don't want to do any spoilers, but it's about a snake who wants to play the piano, right? So, what an interesting concept to begin with. So, can you talk to us about how in the world you had this idea to write about a snake who wanted to play the piano?
Yes, absolutely. It was a fun project, and it started back in 2015. I was taking
Wow.
a class with Tammy Sauer, and she's wonderful and amazing. And her books are, and she's a wonderful person too. So it was a pleasure. It was a full day class, and we had to do some writing exercises. And one of the things was like pairing unusual things. And she had a lot for us to do. And I started brainstorming. And I'm always very excited to challenge myself, right? Because I want to find the thing that maybe hasn't been done yet, even though everything's pretty much done. But how can I find a different angle? And I just put those challenges on myself, and I wanted to come up with something somewhat original, right? And I'm always drawn to stories that are thought provoking, or gives us just gives us ideas how to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And so I started with this prompt, right? So there's a snake. Okay, what could be like pretty much impossible? So there's a snake. So that's my character. What does she want? Well, she wants to play a piano. Oh, well, that is interesting. Okay, so far so good, right? And I was excited. Well, that's something unusual. But then I'm like, how am I going to write that story? Like, I didn't know what the ending's going to be. I don't know how to resolve that problem, because I look at it and I was like, well, that's not possible. So I just put myself into a corner, just backed myself, and I was like, what do I do with that? But it was intriguing enough for me to work on it. Later on, and develop different drafts, and it was exciting. And so the that idea started 2015. The book was published 2025. That's a 10-year journey.
Yeah.
um but ironically enough, like, not ironically, but actually, um very timely, it was published in the year of the snake. So
Oh,
2025
cool.
is the Chinese year of the snake. Imagine that. What a great timing, right? It was just waiting for
Yeah, very
um
serendipitous that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's how it happened. That's how the book was born.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean they do talk to us all the time. I mean, they, whoever they is, the people doing workshops and the people that are further along the path than us, like coming up with those unusual pairings, and that those are some of the best stories. I think this one is just so clever and super fun, and I love it. And I love the musical connections. So can we talk a little bit about where music, I mean, obviously if you have a snake playing piano, there's some music there, but can you dig into that a little deeper for us?
Yes, yes, for sure. So I don't play any instruments myself, which
Okay.
may be surprising, but I've always wanted to play the piano.
Mhm.
Like that's one of the things that I kind of regret not having in my childhood for whatever reason. My parents didn't sign me up for anything. And I grew up in Bulgaria, so there were many opportunities, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember, but I wish someone had thought of it and just put me in piano lessons.
Yeah.
Because I do love the piano. And yeah, maybe one day, maybe it's never too late. They say also day, right?
Yeah,
Um,
right.
so I might one day just I've sat down, I try to, just play by ear, but I haven't had any formal lessons or anything like that. So maybe one day I'll do that too. But I've always wanted to. And so I'm just trying to explore different sides of myself,
Mm,
both things I've experienced and things I have not experienced, but I wish I could, right?
right.
So I just kind of live through my characters in a way as well.
So did,
Um, yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, so yeah, that's where the piano came from. And also because it was the instrument that I thought it was be pretty much the most challenging.
Right, 88 keys, one tail. Yeah. Yeah, that seems pretty impossible. So when you set out to write this, like, did you have to do any like research to find out more about the piano, or do you feel like you pretty much had what you needed?
Um, at the beginning, I had what I needed, but then I also critique partners who are, musical and play instruments helped with that as well. So that was very yeah, helpful, and I was grateful to have those people for feedback and just give me extra support. But yeah.
Yeah. So, we talked a little bit about the journey of you writing the book. Was there anything unusual or interesting about the journey to publication, aside from the fact that obviously it was a very long, arduous journey, as they do tend to be? Anything else that you want to share about the journey to publication itself?
Yes, so that story seemed to attract like the attention of several agents and publishing professionals, but for whatever reason, it never got to the next step. Like it never got to the next step. I've had agents reply with interest like the same day, and it was I did sign with an agent based on this story
Okay.
too. It didn't sell. I did receive one contract, which I then kind of declined because I wanted to try and do something else with it. And then I ended up going back to that goal. So it was a lot of, going back and forth with this, but it did manage to attract attention. It just took a long time to finally make it into a book.
Yeah, to find its forever home, as we say. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. And this with Yahoo Press, right? Let's give them a shout out. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And can you also shout out your illustrator? I don't have it in front of me, but
Yes. And Claire Zhang
yeah,
is
so
the illustrator.
yeah, such a good
Yes.
job with the yellows. Really, really fun. So,
Hmm.
Rosie, as you think about this book and as you think about either families or teachers sharing this book with little people, children, young people, what is one thing that you hope that they don't overlook? One thing that you hope that they don't miss, that they notice, that they point out, that they go, oh, did you notice this or check this out? What would that be?
Yes, well, I hope that they would overall point out the persistence in the story and self-belief of the character, because it's so easy to see the story as simply funny or whimsical, right? A snake wanting to play the piano, but behind all that is as a deeper message that even when others say something is impossible, your dream is impossible, it's still worth pursuing, and that people resonate strongly with that. That's the message I wanted to um, for them to take away and just discuss with kids, and also how to think outside the box. Um, I want them to see that in Sally, and encourage their kids to do the same. So I hope that doesn't get overlooked when they read the story. And yes, it's funny, and she goes through this journey and this and that and the other, some funny things in there, but the overall message is just that. And I wanted to show a picture. Yeah, maybe like this one. I have many favorite spreads, but this is one of them, and where everyone is saying, it's hands down impossible, right? And her friends and teachers and people she would normally respect in your life and their
Right.
opinions, right? But still the passion is so deep. And I kind of joke that it's autobiography autobiography because I was, trying to have that pipe dream as well, becoming an author when
Right.
English was my fourth language and I didn't grow up here and had no idea how to get published. But yet that was so strong that I couldn't give up. And everyone was like, oh, that's never gonna happen. And so I really resonate with Sally. I identify with her crazy dream, which was my crazy dream at the time. But she said, everyone says that. I said, there must be a way, so I want them to point out like there's always a way, right? Um,
Mm.
to discuss that and just be even I'm going to say this, even for the adults reading, it's not too
Right.
late for them. If they had any dreams that they overlooked when they were younger or thought, I think maybe it's too late, I want them to get encouraged as well and inspired to follow their own dreams. So that's my, that's what I hope the book will accomplish.
Yeah, I love that. So one of my big platforms that I stand on, and I share this with every audience that I ever get a chance to, and that is that picture books are really for everyone. They are not just for kids. Like there are so many things, and I mean, in this world, of course, we read a ton of picture books, and so we know this, right? But I think people in the world out there, they don't know this, and they don't know how valuable and how wonderful and how inspiring, as you were saying, picture books can be, and how we learn things from them, not only, I mean, like physical things, like scientific things and like artistic things, that, but also things about ourselves, and then we are inspired and reminded of those truths that maybe we knew as kids, right? We knew that we could just dream anything. But over
Mhm.
time, we get kind of squashed down. And it's so good to be reminded in these picture books that you truly are never too old to dream a new dream. It's a great quote. I forget now who, but it's attributed to somebody, and I see it really often. But I think that's so true. And it's really important that we get these messages from these picture books, and they're not just for kids. And I love that. I just love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And simple message can be profound too. It doesn't have to be anything complicated or right. Yeah, that's how we need the reminders. It could come in any form, and picture books are wonderful for that, as you said, for any age.
They are. I get so upset when I hear teachers or parents saying, "Well, no, honey, those are baby books. Like you're too old for those now. Like they're too easy for you now, or they're too this or that. Like I see it a lot at school. um when and teachers mean well, like they're pushing their reading level, they're pushing them to you know to better themselves, but in the meantime they too don't really necessarily understand that no, these picture books are still valuable, and yeah, you need to push that reading level, but they can have these to come alongside. My husband teaches seventh grade, and he's all the time encouraging his students to, he requires so many books for them to read every year. And there's a big chunk of them that can be picture books. And he keeps a wide range of picture books in his classroom because, he gets it. And we need more people that get that these picture books are good for all of us. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
Yeah, really good. Um, For sure. So, is there anything that I have not? I mean, this obviously is a short interview, but is there anything that I haven't asked you that you really would like to share about Sally's musical tale?
I would love to encourage people to check it out. And for for kids, even for gifts, for teachers,
Yeah.
like you mentioned. Yeah. Um, just give it to someone to encourage them, because like we just talked, it's a story about dreamers of all ages. It doesn't matter. And creativity and determination is just a reminder that it can open up a different path that maybe we didn't think of. And so that's, you know I hope they enjoy, they check it out, and if they don't have kids or grandkids, just give it to a teacher.
Absolutely. Yeah. Donate one to your local school library for sure. That's a great way to, get good books into the hands of young readers, which is so important. It's what we're all about. And I always remind my guests as well as my audience that word of mouth is the very best way, I think. I mean, there are so many good ways, right? Like we said, request it at your library, for sure. Do the reviews on Goodreads and Amazon and Barnes and Noble. Those are so helpful to authors. But I think the best way is when you read a book and you think of someone and you go, "Oh, this reminds me of Aunt Josephine." And so you call Aunt Josephine and you say, "I just read this book and it made me think of you, and I'm sending you a copy in the mail." Or, "You should check this book out at your library because it made me think of you." Or, your kids, "I thought about your kids when I read this book, and so here's a copy for them." Or, "You should check out this copy." So that word of mouth piece, I think, is like super, super important because it shows that you're putting thought and care, and the gifts as well, like you were saying, as a gift, as a recommendation. Both of those show that you had a personal connection with the book and that you're passing that along to somebody else that you think is going to have a personal connection with the book.
I absolutely agree. Yes, word of mouth to this day, even though we have all the technology and online thing, word of mouth is the best way to share. I agree with that. And this reminded me, what you just talked about reminded me that at the very beginning, when the book was just released, and someone had read it and they reached out to me, and it's just amazing what kinds of messages and how the book can resonate with people you don't even know, right? And she reached out to me, and it was a mom, and it was just such a heartwarming message. And I put it on I asked for permission and put it on my website, so anyone who's curious can go and read the whole thing. But so she shared that she had an autistic boy, and then he was so into music. He was just so passionate about music, but every teacher they went to, and every school, and every tutor, they said, you can't, he can't, and
Mhm.
just turned him down. And she was so upset. They finally found someone who agreed, and she says it makes him so happy.
Mhm.
um and she's like, I don't know what your experience was and how you wrote this story, but you wrote it for my family. Like,
Oh,
this is my family's story, and I had no idea.
those are
So
the
fiction meets real life, and she's like, this is my real life story. So it was amazing. But
that's
yeah,
awesome. Like that's why we do what we do, is for those moments like that, right?
right, absolutely.
That's
And sometimes they surprise you so much that
awesome.
it's
Yeah, that is
amazing.
so good. So good. So good. Love that. Um, okay, so to wrap things up, I would love for you to tell us if you have any secret plans in the works, if there's new books coming. Sometimes we have to be secretive about these things, but if there's anything you can tell us about anything new coming down the pipeline, or if you have events or things coming up after the air date, I mean, we would love to know all the Rosie things. So please share.
Oh yeah, happy to. So nothing that I can share on the books in the pipeline thing. I have other books that I could share. The School of Failure behind me is very popular too with teachers, especially now that the school year just began. So I would encourage people to check that out as well. I'm available for school visits if any educators are listening, would like to have me at their school. Their just reach out to me. And I do have some things going on for the Kid Lit community. One of them is my monthly agent and editor workshops that I host, and those are always bring like great value in terms of the workshop itself, but also submission opportunities, including with some big five editors that are otherwise unavailable, right, without an agent. So I'm really happy with those. We continue to do them. So if anyone is interested, they can visit my website, just sign up for my newsletter, and we post them every month. We have different speakers. So you just have to check and see what we have coming up next. Um, I also am the founder of Picture Book Author Academy, and that's a mentorship program. So we help authors create their portfolio and help them connect with the right agents and editors and also build their author brand and just develop from there. So if anyone is interested, just look it up. And yeah, if you also need any marketing help, we are supporting our um, mentees with that as well. So those are the things that I have going on and on submission with my agent. Hopefully, more good news coming soon and things that I can't share yet. But yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. There's always those
Yeah.
little secrets hiding out in the background. But that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have those
Yes.
secrets. Now, you mentioned school visits. Do you do virtual visits as well as in person?
Yes, I do both.
Okay. And we're going to make this super easy for you guys. So we're going to link up below all of Rosie's socials and her website and all of that. So you don't even have to go searching for it. Just like scroll down a little bit from here, and you will find all of her beautiful picture and her website and all her everything that you can go and find her books and purchase them. You can sign up for her workshops. You can check out her school visits, and all of that will be linked up below. And Rosie, I forgot to check with you before we got official. Um, were we doing a giveaway for your episode? I think we were, but I don't remember. Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember, but
That's
happy to do a giveaway.
okay. I
Um,
will look back at your form. So there is going to be a giveaway, guys. Just check below and we will tell you what it is. It's going to be a super secret surprise because I don't remember and it's been a long day at work. So there you go. But yeah, check it out. There's going to be a great giveaway. And usually it's a copy of the book or a picture book critique. And I want to say it might have been a picture book critique when I was looking at it last. But at any rate, there'll be something great. It could be a virtual school visit. So check below and find out what giveaway, and that will it'll tell you when it'll close and all of that. And we will choose from people who leave a comment on the episode. So if you happen to be watching this on YouTube, I try to always remind you, make sure you go over to the website. Number one, because I don't want you to miss out on the giveaway because it's going to be fabulous, but also because not only is all of Rosie's amazing information going to be there, but she's going to offer some writing tips for you. I'm going to offer some writing prompts for you. There's going to be teaching tips in the regular classroom, teaching tips in the music classroom. There's going to be a whole YouTube playlist. There's going to be a Pinterest board, all related to Sally's musical tale and Rosie J. Pova and all her amazingness. So I would hate for you to catch this part and miss that part. So make sure you go over to the blog, check it out, leave a comment there. You'll be entered for the giveaway, and you can check out all the other awesomeness that is going to be there for you on the website. So, with that, I think we are going to close this episode down. And I do hope that you will check out Sally's musical tale, give Rosie all the reviews, share it with somebody that you think would enjoy it. It would make a great gift for a piano teacher. So, if you have a child who's taking piano, then just consider this your little nudge to go purchase this for your piano teacher for your kids. They will love it, guaranteed. So, Rosie, thank you so much for being here.
oh, thank you, Tawny. It was amazing
Yeah, it's
to
been
be
a
a
fun
guest.
conversation. Yeah. I always love meeting new people and making new friends in the Kidlit community and getting those connections. But as Rosie and I talked before we got official, like that's how the world works better is when we all come together and we help each other, and it's just better for everybody that way. So I love helping other authors to share their wonderful books with musical connections, and I love helping you guys by sharing lots of great teaching tips. And share this episode with somebody that you think would be interested, or share PB with a local teacher or friend that would enjoy it as well. And we will all be the better for it. So thank you so much. We wish you lots of music and laughter this week, and we will see you next time on PB
Jams. Reading, writing, teaching. PB Jams. What a yummy treat. Jamming PBs all the time. PB Jams. Jams, jams, jams. Picture books and jams. We'll see you next time.